Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this blog thing just like blew up in a couple of hours. Everybody's like, well, what about a blog? What about a blog? So I know that I use WordPress. I know that some people use Blogspot, but I like WordPress better because I like the analytics better. And back when I started my blog, which was like maybe 5 years now, WordPress was just easier to use. I have a WordPress.com account. There's also WordPress.org. And if you want to know the difference between the two, you can just do a quick um, WordPress.com versus WordPress.org, and you can see very quickly the differences. The main difference is that one is they're both free to start, but one you need to know a little bit more about coding, a little bit more about hosting your site on a server and all that kind of stuff. When I first started, I started with a WordPress.com, and then I switched over to WordPress.org. But I realized that WordPress.com was just easier for me because I had a hard time remembering to go to my host account and paying for my to host it on a drive in internet land and all that kind of stuff. But if you are internet savvy and you do understand coding, and you do understand CSS and all that kind of stuff, I think that the .org gives you more opportunity for functionality, but the .com, they do tons of stuff for you. And for just a couple more dollars, you can pay for features that you would be able to create on your own on .com, so on .org. So I don't want to confuse you too much. You can do a Google search to figure that out, and I really don't want to get too deep into that. So I did a .com, and then what I did was I ended up paying for a really nice theme because I just at the point where my blog is, I felt like I deserved one. So my blog is funfitchic.com. Of course, I think that your first name and last name is a good choice. My first name and last name is taken on .com, .net, .org, .whatever. Maybe one day if I get married to someone with a really crazy name that doesn't have a Melissa in front of it, I can get Melissa whatever.com. But right now, melissalopez.com, .net, .org, everything is gone. There's also .ny is now a domain, so you can actually get that too. But I can get into domains and all that kind of choosing and stuff into something else. But I think the main questions is how to start your blog. So once you get your WordPress account and you link it to your GoDaddy, you have all these awesome things to do in your dashboard. So first off, you can go to the store and you can actually buy your domain and map it right here. I know Michelle said she paid $18 with GoDaddy. Through WordPress, you pay $13 and they map it for you and you don't have to worry. If you want to add video to your blog and not put it on YouTube and then link to it, you can do it for $60 per year. I don't use that. I just use my YouTube and I link it over. I've been a blogger for like 4 years and I've yet to have to increase my space. You can pay to remove all ads from your blog. Not really necessary anymore. Before, people didn't take blogs seriously if they had ads, but now people don't care. Good content is good content wherever. Um, Site redirect, if you need to do that, but I doubt that you will. This is where I paid for a premium theme to make my theme look really pretty. Let me get to it. All right. I wanted to have it a little bit more, wanted to have my videos showcased, wanted to have my blogs looking like this, but you don't necessarily have to do this right off the bat. You can go and not pay that kind of money and just go to appearance themes and choose a theme that is free. You can go to the free one and pick one, and then you can preview it, so you can preview what it looks like, and then you can activate it. My advice to you is write 3 to 5 blog posts before you open it up to the world, because you don't want to tell people, hey, here's my blog, and there's nothing on it but your about. So you want to make sure that you pick a theme, start writing, think about the topics you want to write about. Similar to your Instagram, similar to your Facebook, it's all about a campaign. So what are you going to be your topics? Like, what do you write about? The reason I came up with my blog name a long time ago was because I wanted to write about fun stuff, fit stuff, and chic stuff. So like I write about fun things to do with your friends that are healthy and not very expensive. I write about fitness a lot. I write about like workout gear and cute clothes and holiday outfits and that kind of thing. That's what I'm into. That's who I am. But yeah, you can pick your theme, and that's how you make it look pretty. That was one of Michelle's questions to me. Um, and then you can customize based on the things your theme offers. You can customize colors, you can customize the font you use, you can customize your header, that kind of stuff. So that's how you do that. You also want to go to the widgets. You're going to have to spend some time on this, which is another reason why I say make sure it looks good before you present it to the world. With the widgets, what you're able to do is, add your Instagram, so your latest Instagram picture shows up. Add the follow button so that people can follow your blog and get it right into their email. I have my recent posts as one of those things. And then it depends on your blog layout where they appear. So I don't have anything in my primary sidebar because I like the wide view. But in my footer, I have these things, right? They're here. So currently there's an error retrieving things from Instagram. I think it might be because I changed my password. But you see that you have the follow button. You see that I have my recent blog posts here. The description of who I am, my picture, and yes, that is me. I paid the Arthlete to make a picture of me, so it looks really cute and fitness-like. You can do that too. I think it's so cheap. She's so good and it's so inexpensive. I can't remember how much, but when she told me, I was like, what? That's cheap. So you can check out the widgets and add them to your blog. Don't do the blog stats until like a lot of people start looking at your blog. Um, and then you're gonna want to change your header. For mine, I actually don't have a header because you see I have that big picture. But you can change that. And what happens is every uh, theme has a different style of header. So they tell you your suggested width is 1400 pixels, and your suggested height is 422 pixels. So then you can go onto PicMonkey or Canva and choose that size or create that size so that you make sure that it fits perfectly and it's not going to get enlarged and pixelated and that kind of stuff. Then it's very easy to, write a post. So you go post, add new, and you start writing. It shows up. exactly like it's going to show up on your page. You can preview it over here. You can publish it later. I have mine immediately go into my Twitter and my Tumblr account. I suggest, very similarly to Shalene Johnson, picking 2 to 3 mediums is great, but you want to be on all of the mediums, because you don't want, like, I don't want another Fun Fish Chic on Tumblr doing other things. I got Fun Fish Chic on Tumblr. I don't want another Fun Fish Chic on Blogspot. That's mine. I don't use them, and I don't write on them. But I do send stuff over there, and I do have in the description, go find me on funfishchic.com, go find me on Instagram. I have a little problem that I'm still working out, because my Instagram name is Pezzy Melly, and the reason is because somebody took my Fun Fit Chic name, and that really pissed me off, because they are not doing anything with that account, and I don't know who did that. I was really rude. They probably saw my name and thought it was cool, and then they took it. And when I made an Instagram account, it was gone. But you want to just, like, Saudi Almonte on Tumblr, Saudi Almonte on Blogspot, on all of them, Google, just take it, because you want to direct it to the media that you want it to go to. You don't want somebody else to use your name. Then the other thing to be very mindful about are tags. On tags, you want to write tags about things that people would search. So, like 21 Day Fix, Shaun T, Tony Horton, like whatever you're talking about too, like clean eating, etc., etc. That way, if someone ever Googles, Tony Horton, blah, 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 or P90X review or P90 review, that they'll be able to, that the Google search engine will come and direct you, or direct your page to them. The other thing is, you want categories. You want to start categorizing your blogs, so that if someone goes onto your page, like, for example, let's go onto my page, and let's go to how to stay fit for a lifetime. And you're reading this and you're like, oh, wow, she has so many great tips. Look how awesome that is. I want to read more about what, she writes about. Oh, look, she writes about fitness. So they click on fitness, and all of my fitness posts show up. So it gets them to come back to your page and look at other things. Like, I did a full-on weekly, I tried daily and then I got crazy. So weekly review on how I felt with P90X3. If you go to P90X, you'll see the posts I wrote about P90X. 2013, 2011. I wrote about muscle confusion. 20. I wrote about my little home gym. I think the picture's gone on this. Oh no. See, like, maybe the pull-up bar. But they can see, like, oh wow, these are the topics that she's very consistent about. This is what she talks about. Look at Tony Horton. I like Tony Horton. And then they see everything that I've done with Tony. So definitely every single time you write your post, do not forget to create a category for it in the beginning until you do. Don't let it become uncategorized. You want it to be categorized. And also tags, which are important. The other thing is, WordPress has a spell check, so make sure you use it. And then if you need to publish and schedule, you can do that here. I schedule my posts for every Wednesday, so I blog every Wednesday, and you can write it on Sunday and then publish it on Wednesday, or whatever you choose your day to be. And then back in the day, they used to say like follow a lot of bloggers so they can follow you back. I still think that would stand true. But at this point, with like we have so many other avenues that we've made robust, like our Instagrams and our Facebook pages and our Facebook like pages, that I don't think we need to necessarily, go on a spree following other bloggers. Um, One thing I do want to show you is how, I promoted my clean eating support group in October to then, I wrote about it to then give people an idea about what clean eating is about. And that's how I directed them here. So I wrote this 5-day clean eating support group page. And instead of directing them to somebody else talking about clean eating, I wrote about clean eating and I wrote about what I do. So when I made my post on Facebook, I linked to me because I'm your expert, right? That's me. You want to follow me, you want to work with me, I'm going to tell you how I do things. So that's just a way on how you can use your blog and the things you run on your blog to help promote your page. Um, I have a group, We're Not Drinking in November. So then I wrote a post about mental prep for not drinking. Um, you always want to link out to your post. That's definitely key. And I don't think there's anything, I mean, if you have questions, like specific questions, I'd like to answer them, but this was what I was asked. So in order to make it pretty, themes and widgets, and then menus is also very important because these are my menu items in the top, you see? In the top of my page, my about. You want to have a really cool about. That's like key because people come to you and they want to know about you. That's my form on my page. Um, and then that goes to my Beachbody page. So people know who I am. You go to my about. You see me. I use that picture a lot because it just really describes who I am right there. Happy, nature, silly, yoga. All right. I think that's all I'm going to do right now. If you have other questions, like let me know and I can then help you a little bit further.